I am DYANAROZAY, and I bring a unique commentary to your favorite reality TV shows and whatever is popping on social media. If you are not a subscriber, please become one. Hit that notification bell too, that way you don't miss any of my videos. I go by DYANAROZAY on all platforms, and I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. What's up, Supreme Team? Welcome to the channel. It's your girl, DYANAROZAY, and I'm here to talk to y'all about Kenya more. We got plenty to talk about, okay? Y'all may remember a few days ago, I told you that the landlord of Kenya's salon actually sued her LLC and not Kenya personally, okay? I told y'all that Kenya may have insulated herself if she did not sign as a personal guarantee to her business. And I'm going to give y'all an update on that. So stick around for that. Okay. We are also talking about some other things that Kenya got going on in her life that shocked the heck out of me, that has to do with her family relations. So stick around for that. And then y'all know Brit and Kenya has been doing the two-step over the weekend, child, going back and forth about who's talking to who and who's threatening who. Well, we're going to get into all of the details of that as well. Stick around for everything. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Also, hit my like button, share the video, and become a subscriber if you are not already. I'd love to have you over here as a part of the Supreme Team family. Okay, mi casa es su casa. Y'all, let's get into it. All right, let's start with Kenya's family. Do y'all recognize the beautiful woman in the photo with Kenya? That is her Aunt Lori, y'all. She had been on RHOA many seasons, and then she stopped coming on. But yes, her and Kenya had met up at Kenya's maternal grandmother's house, Aunt Lori's mother, Kenya's own mother, right? Because Lori is Kenya's, Lori is the sister of Kenya's mother. But yes, apparently there was a family affair happening not too long ago where they all went to celebrate Kenya's maternal grandmother turning 95 years old. Okay, so they celebrated her new year around the sun. And Kenya took her daughter, Brooklyn, to meet the rest of the family. Kenya said that her daughter loves family, and Kenya's own mother was there. Now, here's what, kind of touched my heartstrings, because we all know that Kenya's mother has been, a beast, right? A beast, saying that she didn't want to have anything to do with Kenya from the time Kenya was born. But Kenya did reveal that after she had Brooklyn, her mother had wrote a letter to her, apologizing to her, asking to be in Brooklyn's life, and also sending Brooklyn gifts and things like that. And Kenya said it's been a very slow walk. And, she's been trying to manage things in her healing journey so that she doesn't rob her daughter the opportunity to know her mother, even though Kenya has a completely different, dealing with her. Like that's something where you're like, you cut me off, I'm going to cut you off from me and everything attached to me. But Kenya said that she's open to her daughter knowing her grandmother. She's open to her daughter figuring out how, that relationship should work, and basically building up her own discernment muscles. So that's how Kenya put it. But she said that her daughter loves her mother. And when I guess they were finished with the visit, her daughter was asking, when can she see her grandmother again? And the same for Kenya's mama. She asked, when can she see her granddaughter again, you guys? So I was actually shocked. I'm actually happy for them because, you do want healing in your life. I'm sure there's a lot of things that needs to take place in order for Kenya to fully evolve into whoever she's supposed to be on this earth. You know what I'm saying? And it has to do with her mother. But I just thought that was I mean, it's shocking, but it's also beautiful. But y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments, because like I said, people are quick to cut people off. And considering all the stories that Kenya has told us about her mama, what she did to her when she was a child, not wanting to speak to her, could be in the same room with her and say, make sure that girl doesn't speak to me. All of those things, that sits with you, right? But anyway, y'all tell me what y'all think about that. And we're moving on to the next story. And that's Britt Edie, you guys. So y'all know that when Kenya announced on Friday that she was going onto her YouTube page and that she had a run-in with Brit Edie and basically teasing a story so that people can come join her, Brit Edie responded, okay? She actually went live or got on her IG page, her personal PR, and she said the whole thing was a lie and that the only time Kenya was going to run into her was at federal court. So here's what Kenya actually had to say about her run-in with Brit Edie.
Somebody said, any last words for Brit Edie?
Any last words? Oh.
I think she already gave her last words. Who is this?
I think Now I didn't say who is this hoe. I did not say this today. And I'm not gonna say it because unlike her, I have not burned my bridge with Bravo. I speak to them often, and trust me, I've heard a lot of people saying things, and I'm not gonna be activated with a ghost. I'm just not gonna do that. Let that person go ahead and do what they want to do, because at the end of the day, am I a traitor or am I faithful? What do you guys think? I have been a faithful to the day I died. The moment I stepped on this Bravo TV set or in front of these Bravo cameras, I have been a faithful. I think everybody can agree with that, right? Okay. Okay. So there you have it, you guys. I don't know if it was necessarily a discussion of a run-in, but what she did say is that she is navigating. She has been talking to Bravo. She's still in talks with Bravo. So she's letting us know that she is navigating her return to the network. That's what it sounds like to me. She's navigating her return to the network. She says she's still in good standing, unlike Brit, who could never come back, not only to Bravo, but NBC, Universal, and anybody else under the NBC Universal umbrella. The other thing she said, I don't know if you heard it, is that she is faithful to the network. So there's a lot of people who have been questioning, why did you get rid of Kenya after threats of a pow pow and things like that? Kenya says she don't have any hard feelings or bad blood. She's a faithful to the network, and maybe teasing that she is going to be a part of the Traitors franchise, which is typically how they get you back on the network. They'll start you off on one of those Peacock shows. Y'all tell me what y'all think about that. And let me show you guys what Brit Edie had to say in response to Kenya saying, who is that insurance fraud hoe? Basically, she had one of the people in the background say that. Who is that insurance fraud hoe? This is what y'all need to hear about Brit Edie. So you guys, Brit is also threatening, saying that everything is being documented. Brit said, for the last 2 years, I have dealt with ongoing harassment and unwanted behavior from the public and the same individual, someone who publicly associates themselves with Bravo. So right now she's making a threat against Bravo, saying, if this is still somebody you publicly associate with, she's saying that the two of you guys are in cahoots or in good standing. Brit's saying this is a problem for her, that when y'all let her go, y'all should have let her go for a reason, and you never took her seriously. Okay. Brit goes on to say, I have stayed quiet. I have focused on healing. I have chosen not to engage. Let me be clear. Any continued comments, Subtle shots, public mentions, or attempts to provoke me need to stop immediately. At this point, any continued behavior is intentional and reckless. Everything is being documented. So that's her response to Kenya. Whew, I would say leave her alone. Okay, just leave her alone. I don't know. Y'all talk to me in the comments, but Kenya, don't mess up anything that you have going on, child, business wise, for this kind of petty ass shit. Okay, y'all talk to me. Let me know what y'all think, and let's move on. Okay, you guys, now let's get into this lawsuit that the landlord placed against Kenya's LLC. Now, last week I said I had some concerns with Kenya talking about it, if it was an active lawsuit or if she even had an active case, because it was out there that the case was closed, it had been settled. And yeah, let me show y'all something just in case people have some questions about it. I did look it up to make sure that this wasn't just internet rumors, something that, you know, people put on Facebook or Instagram, and y'all see it right there. A lot of publications did print this, including Essence, The Griot, Yahoo Entertainment. It was shown on WBLS News, that's television news, and TMZ and AOL even obtained the actual court documents. So those documents did show that there was an actual judgment by the court in favor of the landlord, and that Kenya had to pay 2 installments totaling, or the LLC had to pay 2 installments totaling $88,000 plus to Northland Chambly LLC, which is the leaseholder. But check out what Kenya had to say.
Here's the issue. If we're even and you want to work something out, so basically you owe me 80, I owe you 80. Why can't we just say, you know what? It offsets one another. Your 80 offsets my 80, and you guys can just continue to do business and continue paying the rent that you owe month to month, like our agreement. But that didn't happen, right? And the reason why it didn't happen is because the landlord, from the moment that, you know, she started following my Instagram and all of this stuff was happening with the salon, the landlord actually has been antagonizing to me. She has not let me promote. And when I say she, is the landlord's representative. It's a huge company that owns this apartment building that I have a storefront. But she has stopped me from promoting the first time that I wanted to promote my huge sale and people to buy. She stopped me from doing that. She was going to try to file an injunction and basically saying that it was going to cause too much commotion where I am with the tenants that are here, that it was going to be a traffic jam and it was going to be, you know, all these people trying to get in and it was going to be too disruptive. So she basically was threatening me to, you know, to file all this stuff in court to prevent me from promoting inside my own salon that I have been paying for. So I'm like, okay, well, because I really at the time wanted to stay into and stay in my salon, I said, okay, I'm going to postpone the event and I'm going to do it at another time, which I did. So where we are now, as of last week, the court closed the case.
Okay, she said the court closed the case, you guys. The court closed the case, which was interesting that she said it that way. And I ended up going over there to a couple of people's pages, child. But I saw that Kenya, if the court closed the case, I wanted to know if they dismissed the case or what was the judgment, right? Because you're making it seem like the case is closed, even though there was a judgment given. Anyway, Kenya did say that she did not personally guarantee the loan, you guys. Y'all can see it up here. Someone asked the question or made the statement, Kenya, I personally didn't believe the headlines. You're way too classy for that. for sure, and you're very responsible. Team twirl for sure. Well, Kenya responded back, there is some truth in the statements, but a lot of actual truth is missing. I believe intentionally to defame me and paint the picture that I'm somehow broke. I never personally guaranteed anything. So there's that. So Kenya is definitely letting people know she did not put her name on the personal guarantee for the lease. So the landlord may not be able to go after her personally for that past due rent. We'll have to see. Okay. Now, what I also ended up finding out over on Michelle A.T. Alien Brown's page, y'all, is that according to the internet, I did do a little lookup. Kenya's LLC, More Vision Media LLC, is dissolved. It's been dissolved. It's no longer active, which means that the landlord may not have recourse. We'll have to see if anything happens next. It looks like the landlord tried to reopen the case. Maybe they realized that Kenya dissolved that LLC. So maybe they tried to open it back up to see if they can get it out of Kenya. But as of right now, womp womp, there is no more LLC. And that also means, and here's where things get a little bit tricky, y'all. But if Kenya had a countersuit, because she said that in her original document, she said, I had a countersuit, and y'all heard the explanation. I owe you 88K, you owe me 88K. It should have just been a wash. It should have been a wash. But if Kenya is in default of making that payment because that was a legitimate judgment, then her countersuit is done. It's toast. She is in default of the court's orders, and the court is not going to hear her case because a court needs you to show up with clean hands. Clean hands doctrine, meaning that if you want us to make a judgment or listen to anything you have to say about something, you got to walk into that courtroom with all of your I's dotted and all of your T's crossed. You can't have anything out of order in regards to that, okay? And you guys, it also means that with a default judgment, or her being in default of the judgment, that the landlord can begin eviction proceedings. So we'll have to see what happens next. We have to see if some sort of Hail Mary is given. So we'll keep our eyes on it, but that's what it looks like right now. And she looked like she may be at peace with everything. Perhaps whatever was under that previous LLC, More Vision Media, maybe she's established a new LLC, put everything over there instead. Yeah. I do want to say this too. Kenya is tired of some of the people that she said is coming after her. And child, she ended up showing that she is a licensed to carry card on her IG page or her live the other day. Y'all see it? It has her name there, Kenya Summer Moore, Georgia. Bloop, bloop. Carry license. So she wants people to know that she's not the one to fool with, child. And I don't know. Things might be getting a little intense, but she says she's not the one to fool with. Y'all talk to me in the comments. Y'all let me know what y'all think about all of it. Let me know what y'all think about all of it. Was this a good move or not? And what do you think about Kenya possibly being in talks to do Traders over there on Peacock, y'all? She says she still has good relations with Bravo. Talk to me about everything, including her daughter being able to meet her mama. Let me know what y'all think about that too, okay? Y'all hit my like button, share the video, become a subscriber if you are not already. I appreciate all of y'all for rocking with me. Also, make sure you're following me on all my platforms at DYANAROZAY. Until the next one, bye-bye.